And just like that, we are back and to start off another great week of hashtag Fade to Black. I am your host, Donnell Monte here with my dog, my bruh, Beast Johnson. How you doing, my man?
Quite good, sir. Quite good. How about yourself?
Hey, man. Hey, I can't complain. Cannot complain. Always looking forward to doing I know I got a clear throat. Doing this show, so much we got to talk about, and it is about Sha'carri. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we going to take it there, but before we take it there, shout out to our sponsor for today, Real Cheddar Boy Popcorn, the only black-owned popcorn company here in the state of Washington. They do deliveries, and they got not seven. I think they got over 10 different flavors of popcorn, and yes, they do deliver, ladies and gentlemen.
And let me also add this as well about our sponsor. It's also the type of business, the type of food service that believes more in quality assurance than it does in capital gain. Instead of running 30 days out the month, they said we only gonna run 3 weeks because we need an extra week to make sure everything right for y'all. Because y'all love it so much, we got to take a week off from the store just to make sure we got the stuff y'all need at the quality level that y'all expect. And y'all been getting from this point.
And
ain't no other business do that. Ain't no fucking other business gonna do that. Next to Chick-fil-A, what other business will close at least one day, if not hell, a whole week? But you know when that bitch is open, that shit is hit.
This is true, and you got to respect that. Definitely for, we still dealing with COVID. These businesses are still struggling out there. For them to actually to close for a while, just to, as we say in the military, get your shot group right, and tell you that they're going to reopen. They're going to be firing on all cylinders once everything's get right, and once they catch up with their supply, catch up not only on their supply but also their demand. So, and then
you got to ensure quality control,
right? And then, not to mention, come up with some more creative ideas, some more flavors. Look, we shouting out them a lot. So, but check out what they got now on realcheddarboypopcorn.com. Also, one thing I need to start emphasizing on the show as well. You see these things right here. These after our names, Elementary 31, and also Beast Johnson. These are our cash apps. And it's my fault. I only mentioned it one time, but I'm going to start mentioning it on the show a lot of times. If you love what we're saying, or if you have a special request that you want us to do, send your request. Give us a shout out. Go ahead and send us some cash apps for those special requests. Or you just want to support us, go on ahead. Shoot us $1, $10, $100, $1 million, who knows. But I'm highly going to encourage, and this goes for everybody, do not give us your life savings. We don't want that. But if you love what we're saying or just want to show you support to either one of us, because when you send the cash up to one of the people on this, one of the panelists, you support the show. So I just want to let y'all know that. So if you feel it Beast, go ahead and shoot him a donation. If you feel it B, go ahead and shoot me a donation. And once we get our panelists back with Cheech, who's still living her best life, give her a donation, give her a shout out, and then also once we get Seep Away back on the show, go ahead and shoot his cash up. But
currently we have 3 of our panelists in Africa
right now, and Mayo as well.
Mayo down there in Nigeria, getting his money man on.
Yes, he tried to get a cruise line. I told y'all, money never sleeps.
Seaway down here back home,
living his best life,
reconnected, and T's just trying to figure out which country she gonna be a queen
in. Right, I'm saying, just having fun.
But she's just sampling, like I could be it out. Angolan. The Queen of Angola. That don't sound Sudan. The Sudanese. Yeah, I like. That's all she doing. She just sampling the West.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's teach for you. But hopefully she don't forget to come on the show, and she knows that we miss her. But it's great to see that she's enjoying herself out there. But other than that, we wasted too much time. Let's go to our opening statements. Last time I got it started, but this time I'm gonna let you start it off for us, Beats. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with the opening statements.
In this land and era of cancel culture, and as the PR firms would call rebranding of America, you see a lot of tactics being done to, in a sense, and basically change the history for the next generation, because this current generation is extremely malleable. They're not exactly, there's so much information and historical accounts present to them, they're not exactly sure what's what. So it's easy to control and create a narrative that will last for 2 more generations. So that's almost a good 100 years. Like those memes that say, hey, this in 100 some odd years, they're going to say this was Tupac. This type of shit we talking about. You see the whole critical race theory of them pretty much wanting to say that we're not going to teach about the bad things that America has done and how bad white folk historically are and can be and were, depending on the white person. Just covering my bases. Well, if we're going to do that, if we're really going to rebrand, don't hide from this shit. Because if A&E and National Geographic have taught us, there's always some remnant. There will always be some little fossil of a time long gone, of a time thought forgotten. So no matter how much you hide the shit you did, eventually someone will find you. So why hide it? Just own up to it and move the fuck on. Embrace all the good and the bad and just spin it correctly. I had a chance this weekend to watch 2 of the most American movies you could possibly want to watch. And that's Team America and the Netflix animated movie, America, the Motion Picture. And if anyone has actually had a chance to watch these 2 movies, A, they are fucking hilarious. God, the wordplay. But the one thing that I gathered from both of those was the songs. And as an American, I have to say that the songs that they used resonated within my spirit to a level to where I could see that being an anthem for America. Yes, we have our national anthem, but we got to update. And that could always be that could be our historical anthem, and we have a new national anthem. See how I did there? Still keeping it, still there. This has greater importance. Still our anthem, but now it's our historical anthem. The anthem that built this nation. But we need a new anthem to help keep this nation together. So I would like to make a point of notice and declare that for wartime, our war song should be from Team America. Anyone that knows that knows what I'm saying. America, fuck yeah! Come on around and say the motherfucker yeah! Blare that shit from the goddamn copters as we dive in on our enemies. I swear to God, they'll shit their pants. Now, for American unity, you can't go wrong with the great Alabama gods, Rock, Leonard Skinner, and the greatest song to ever play, Free Bird! You cannot sit here and tell me that as an American, you don't feel pride within yourself when you hear that song. It doesn't well you up with all positive vibes and energy. I dare an American in here, no matter what the fuck you choose in life, to say you don't like Free Bird. I dare you to say it to my face with a straight face. Because it's impossible. That should be the new national anthem. Because everybody loves Free Bird, baby. Even the dog. And with that, I yield the floor.
And I'm free as a bird now. God dang it, Beast. Oh my goodness. And Lisker is my least favorite band, but at least it didn't stay Sweet Home Alabama, so I'm happy with that. I concur. America. I was just actually watching it the other week. God dang it. You know what? This is what happens when you got penalties y'all think too closely alike. All right, so my opening statements, I so totally forgot what my opening. Oh, just got back. Anybody getting on this milk crate challenge craze that's been going on? At first, when I was looking at all the posts on Instagram and seeing it on YouTube, at first I was like, oh my God, this is something that two people were high or just hate their job and high was like, yo, I guarantee you I can make it over a freaking crates without falling. Oh, you think so? How about the pyramid? And then all of a sudden, how high do you want to go? And it just caught on. And, you know, you got some black folks that go sit back like, oh, man, you know, we should put our energies in something else. Now, don't get me wrong. I always preach on this show, you know, we put our energies into the wrong shit. And if we put our energies into actually improving ourselves, then we won't be having this problem. But you know what? There are times like these where you got to push that to the side. Just enjoy the fun in it and seeing how it brings people together, even though a lot of them not wearing masks out there, but still, they out there having fun with this challenge. People got seriously hurt. Your blessings and positivities, I throw that out there to y'all. But for everybody that's out there that's having fun, that's having a good time, I could get with this freaking craze, and it's probably something my dumb ass would do if somebody was doing it here, because it looks harder than it looks. What I mean by that is, because I think when you get on like the fourth and fifth step, that's when it started to get wiggle wobbly. Because I was like, why don't you just run? And I saw a video when somebody did that, and they actually did not make it, and it was bad. So I saw a couple of videos where people made it, and kudos to them. But now, since this craze has taken America, maybe even the world soon, by storm, now you got the hoteps. Now you got the ones that are just pro-black. They criticize the sun because it's not black. They will go out and enjoy the night a little bit too much, if you catch my drift, because it's dark. But now they're saying that this whole entire milk crate challenge craze is a distraction for the government to get people to get vaccinated and all sorts of freak conspiracies. When do y'all ever just shut up? When do y'all ever get y'all heads out of fucking conspiracies? And y'all know I don't like conspiracies, but I think even the conspiracy theorists to a point will be like, yo, that don't even make no sense. It's a milk crate challenge. that somebody just created out the blue and thought it was fun, and people are doing it. Or, well, I'm not doing it, but trying it. And all you can do is just piss on the parade and think that it's a conspiracy for people to get vaccine. What do milk crates got to do with the vaccine? Make it make sense. Because people got to understand, when you start throwing out these conspiracy theories, realize you become a distraction too. Because when you sit there telling somebody that they're driving in the wrong direction, you think you give them good advice, but you're not realizing that you're being a distraction your damn self. Because you could be telling them, no, make a left. Then you got this person right here. No, make a right. So now the person got to deal with two distractions. And then not even talking about the driver themselves, because they could be going through something. They could already know where they're going, but now they got two damn people yelling at them of different directions to go. And that's what you're doing. You're that one person that will come to a freaking cookout or a barbecue, everybody having fun, and you the only negative Nancy that comes there just to screw it up. You the one that always got to bring that. Y'all know that one cousin. You know that one person that be just, man, I don't know why you eating all that meat, dog. Save some for the kids. Save some. Like, man, you drink too much. The one that always got to tell people who they are and what they should be doing, what not they doing. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This is no damn different. Just saying conspiracy just because it's a fucking conspiracy. And that's a distraction. And not even realizing that you're becoming a damn distraction your damn self. So for anybody, not only just for this milk crate craze, but for anything that's positive, when you see all our people, beast people, teach peoples out there having fun, and you got that one person or a group of people that's sitting there saying there's something wrong with it or conspiracy with it, realize when you give them the attention, they're a distraction. They're just mad because you are enjoying life, even with COVID going on, even with the political spectrum of the world that's going on right now. You found fun in all this craziness, that the craziness could just take a break and to enjoy yourselves. Continue to enjoy yourselves. Don't listen to those hotep dumb-ass pro-black mother suckers that think that, you know, we should be doing this and you can't date outside your race and think you're pro-black. Don't even pay them no mind. And for them, if y'all actually use your power and energy and influence to help the black community politically within the system, y'all will be the last ones to freaking complain. So stop being a damn distraction, y'all damn selves, and let us have fun. We got enough going on in the world. Last thing we need is for you to sit there and tell us about conspiracy theories that have been 20 years old and never came true, and you still waiting on it. So stop. And with that, I yield the floor, and we will be right back, Jax. right, so let's get into it. First of all, for anybody who's just seeing my blue screen back here, there was issues with the program, but we here. So now let's before I go to a video with a friend of mine supporting the show, we're going to talk about Sha'carri, about her debacle over this past weekend. So for anybody who's been living under a rock, she lost her meet that she challenged the Jamaican runners and everybody else who participated, and she finished dead last. A lot of people have been had a lot of thoughts on that. Definitely after what she said in her post-race interview, which I saw and I thought was very disrespectful. And so we're going to talk about that and how it all came to this point. So B, so what's your take on it before I get my full take and show the video from when I was a guest on my boy Bill's show, which y'all should follow?
Like I said before, like I told you earlier, when it come down to her, y'all looked at her at face value and saw somebody that looked like that getting press coverage for athletic endeavors. And the old folks started thinking like, kind of put them in the mind of Flojo, rebellious, going against the stereotypical visuals and status quos. So y'all rock with it. But the truth of it was, y'all saw ratchet, loudmouth, city girl, energy type female. That's what y'all got out of those pictures. From how she carried, from how she presented herself, that's what y'all got. So that's like, she's like me. Go girl, do what you do. What y'all really mad at was y'all really thought she was going to outrun some non-American niggas. Sorry, not going to happen.
And to add on that, and I also put, hopefully I can get to the part on the show what I had with Billingsley. I literally said that even though Boyce Watkins did his post, he's a freaking clout chasing asshole. Yes, I said that. Run and tell that. We're not respecting those 3 Jamaican ladies that won.
Then we're not.
That's and the thing is, I have an issue with this. I'm doing this for the culture, but 3 of them finished 1, 2, 3 again, practically the same order like they did in the Olympics. But nobody's saying what they did was part of the culture. They're black women, they are black women just as much. But
they're not black. They're not American.
Which is crazy to me. I mean, if we all in this, to me it is, because I mean, they're black women. They probably get it in the white parts of Jamaica, because Jamaica has still got colonial rule, and freaking they still come here to the States. They can give a damn if they got an accent or they're from a different country. If a white person in the South or a white person here in the North or in the Midwest, let's say how racist the Midwest is, if they don't like you, they're gonna show that they don't like you. So while everybody's sitting there saying, "Hold your head up, queen," you had 3 queens that beat her. And for Sha'carri to have that interview, and I heard a lot of people was giving excuse, she got it, she's confident, she's bold. That's not track and field people think. I get that, but at the same time, you have to humble yourself. If I lost in anything, even if I really seriously hate the person, to the point if they fall down the stairs and they're paralyzed from the waist down type of hate, I still will say they was the better person today. And it could have been I didn't bring my A game, or they just, today wasn't my day. Either way, I lost. I got to go back to the drawing board. I will give them their shine. I will be like, they was better. He or she was better than me today. They deserve all the props. And don't make it about yourself. We all know that you lost. Why do you want to keep bringing it up and coming up with excuses? Well, I'll be back. I was sleep deprived, knowing that I was out partying all fucking night and doing all these things that I shouldn't be. Right. And so
it's your fault.
Right. And so why I'm going to sit there and tell all these excuses knowing that led to me losing? Why don't I just be like, I lost, keep that all to myself, don't explain myself, and give the person their victory, give them their roses. There's nothing wrong with that. And so for her to have that type of interview, I'm like, you can't defend that. You just can't. And so when I think a lot of people were hurt that we supported you when the Olympics did what they did to you, to now you openly challenge the three women and then whoever else accepted your invitation, and you finished dead last. So I'm just going to give the rest of my take on this video right here. Let me go in here and put it on the side. So I'm going to let y'all hear my take on my boy Billingsley show. Y'all should follow him on Facebook. Isaac Billingsley. Me and him got into a pretty respectable conversation, but I'm going to let the interview do the talking.
You got smoked out the wrong
smoke. Smoke. Look. I hate to be mean, but the blunt wasn't even lit.
Dude, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was embarrassing.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you see Candace. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Already. If you are going to talk all this smack, okay? If you go on social media, don't even let these girls have their time to shine and everything and talk about did you miss me? If you want to go ahead and say all this stuff and then a week or a couple of days before the race happened, you're bragging and everything like that, and you get in there and you get dusted, that's your fault.
Yeah.
And then let's take it a step further. Take it a step further. After you lose again, don't let the girls go ahead and have their time to shine. You don't congratulate them. You don't say anything, but you talking about yourself. Talking about how this is not the last time you'll see me and all this other stuff. Do you not know how many other athletes in this game have said this over and over again? I guarantee you this. It's not even going to be 4 years from now. It's going to be 3 years from now because of what happened with COVID and everything, right? Mm-hmm. 3 years from now, she's going to be a memory. Yeah, she's going to be a memory. Because, and this is why I say this, if you qualify for the Olympics and you take a month off and you come in 9th place, who's going to sponsor you? You're damaged goods at this point. The only American in this race that has a possibility that might come back in 4 years from now is the one who came in 4th in this past race yesterday. Mm-hmm. That was the American. That was about it. Sha'carri, she's going to be a memory. She's going to go back to, Oregon or wherever the hell she was at.
Louisiana.
And she's going to cry. No, that's where she went to school at. Mm-hmm. But she's going to go ahead and cry and say how messed up everything was and stuff like that, and go into track and field obscurity. See, this is.
I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause at that part because what my boy, I took the words right out of my mouth. Everything that Billingsley said was spot on correct. Because when you sit there, it's like this. I think it was like before he came on this spiel. I said this was an example of writing a check that your ass can't cash. You can't sit there and talk all this smack, talk all this junk that you're the best. That means that's like me, let's say I had one good rap album. Let's a good LP that sold over 500,000 units. But you've been in the game, even though your name is not being mentioned, but you pushed your work out there. But me as a one-hit wonder, I'm pushing 500,000 units on my first album. And now I'm challenging you because I pushed out more units than you did, not knowing that there's a difference between just having a one-time than having a recurring. That you always in the lab working. You working on the next. Okay, this one album.
I would also ask you just okay, because you do have people like that make those statements, those that have been signed, like I say, had a single or two, but you ask them, okay, well, how are your royalties in your publishing?
Right, and you ask them those things, so it'd be like another Kanye 50 Cent type of battle. Because you remember what happened between 50 and Kanye? They had a challenge with each other. I don't know. I don't know what was the punishment.
Mess.
Yeah, where 50 put out the album. Yeah, 50 put out the album the same time Kanye put out the album, and they both challenged each other who going to sell the most. And Kanye ended up winning. And so, like I said, I don't know what the consequence was, but going back on my example, we have that. And I turned out to be a phony. I won't say phony, but hard work pays off when talent don't. And you ended up outselling me. And not only just outselling me, you broke your own personal record. Because of me at the time, the hottest thing out on the block, and you who've been on the block doing your own thing, now I just gave you a platform that should have been yours, but now I basically just gave you that damn platform because now people are going to see me for the person that I am. Oh, you just a one-hit wonder. Beast, where the fuck have you been? I heard about you, but now I'm happy to see that you're on this platform. Now I gave you the platform that you should have had in the first place.
It happens.
And even with that, I still don't give you your roses. I still don't give you your props. Like, man, Beast's been doing this for a hot minute, man. I just thought it would be a great challenge because, maybe I wanted you to have that platform because I recognized your work, or it could have been hey, man, let's collaborate. But no.
There's always a respect. I tell people, there's always a respectful way to play some shit off. No matter how you personally feel about it, you can play it off.
Yeah, but I chose not to give you your respect because I'm still leaning on the first time of selling those many units and thinking that that's going to last forever. That shit don't last forever. And that's in this case for Sha'carri. Sha'carri just thought just because she was whipping ass here in the States and qualified for the Olympics, she think that she was just invincible. I mean, I won't say she was on top. She was on her way. Ladies and gentlemen, she didn't even reach the climax. She didn't even reach the sea of climax yet. She was on the rise. And when you on the rise of beast, you can concur with me on this one. You start to get the taste of fame. You start to get the taste of glory. You don't have it yet, but you're getting that taste because now you're going to get featured on magazines, going to get interviews all over the place. Now, all of a sudden, not only just your city, but now your whole entire state is recognizing you of your accomplishments. Even people from your school start to recognize you. You start to get accolades and all that stuff. It's there. You start to get the taste. But you're not there yet. And everybody thought when she had this setback, I don't think everybody thought it was over. They just knew that she was in a bad place. But they know that once she get back on her feet, it was going to be a big comeback. And then this past weekend happened. And so it's just like you just got to humble yourself sometimes. So everything that my boy Billsley said in this piece is correct. But now I'm going to give y'all what I had to say, give you my thoughts.
Not trying to cut you off, sorry. But
No, you good.
ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect example of
Oh, here's the part.
that your ass can't. Now, I saw one of the comments where they said the media focused on that. I'm gonna have to push back on that. The media was just pushing the fact that she wasn't going to be in the Olympics, which was painting her as, typical black woman type of thing.
Billingsley.
I pushed back on that on the media. But here's my thing to what happened in that race. Seeing her lose that bad, it made everybody who supported her look crazy and dumb. But also, I want to I see Candace. I'm gonna shout out Candace because she put out the Jamaican flags. I'm so happy to see 3 sisters from Jamaica, not this race, but the race that mattered in the Olympics, sweep the top 3. So shout out to Jamaica. Not to mention, we got a very underrated soccer team. Okay, I was Ghana, but y'all soccer team is bomb. So I'm just gonna put that out there. But for her to freaking go at the end of the interview, see, this is the thing about sportsmanship, professionalism, is to take your lumps. She kind of remind me of Adrian Broner after the Pacquiao fight when he thought he was winning. That's what it took. I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Nah, a better one is not the Pacquiao. Not the Pacquiao.
Let me pause it. Yeah. Well, what you think?
Not the Pacquiao. It was Bronner. Which one was it? Bronner and Medina. The one where he humped the old boy.
Yeah, Medina. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that one. Madonna. That's a better correlation of how she talked all that shit. I got y'all hyped up off that lit boxing and them wolf tickets and come out dead last.
No.
You can't talk, no. You just gotta sit there and just, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, that kind of reminded me of Adrian Broner in the Pacquiao fight when he thought he was winning. I was like, dude, what? So when she was having that interview, that's the first thing that popped up my mind. I was like, yo, hopefully Adrian Broner is not her PR person when it came to that interview. I was like, because you need to fire
because that nigga truly believed that even after the Medina fight, the Medina loved his motherfucking face up something vicious.
Yeah, he did. And I was rooting for Adrian Broner in that one. But let's go.
I knew Broner wasn't gonna win that fight.
Yeah, because he was getting too cocky when he started calling himself a Cam man, and yeah,
it ain't even that. As every man knows, it's just certain things as a man. I don't give a fuck what it is, how fake it is, how scripted it is. It's just certain things you don't say. And the reason why you don't say it, because if it hits the man's ear the wrong way, shit's gonna get real.
And then also
boxing is like, okay, you see it in UFC fights too. When that one dude just said something you knew he had no fucking business saying. Like if this was not a fight for money, he'd be laid up on the ground getting punched out right now. This was just a regular street fight. The fight's on right now. It's one of them statements. But I can't hit you right now, so now I'm just gonna focus. You ever seen them wrestling angles where it's like the two dudes are beefing with each other and one of them hates the other dude so much that he starts to see him in other wrestlers?
Yeah, Edge and
Edge was one of them.
Edge and Matt
Undertaker did that one time.
Yeah,
that was one. That was one as well.
Yeah, because that was real life. Because Lita cheated on freaking Matt Hardy. I'm sorry.
You in one of those situations like that, you see I see nobody but him. Oh, I knew Medina was about to lump the shit out of him. I knew that.
Because Maidana, not trying to get too much off the sports or anything, but Maidana, that he's something else. I actually had to follow him, and beating Broner was the ticket to him having the fights with Mayweather, even though he lost both times. Like the first time, people was like, "Oh, that first round, he almost won," and then Mayweather, he did his thing like, Mayweather got that freaking chip up in his damn mind. He knows like how to guard you and where to hit you. Yes, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels was another one because you remember Sunny Days. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm. And you saw how Bret flipped the fuck out. Yeah, it was scripted. He knew that they was gonna say some slick stuff. But it's like, you just don't fucking say stuff. No, some stuff you just don't say. So you see that switch, and it's the same thing with gloating. Like the only reason why Ali, let's be real, only reason why Ali got away with the shit that he said was because of his training regimen. This man trained in a manner to not beat you, but beat the shit talking nigga that he plays to beat. If he can't beat that nigga, he knew he wasn't gonna beat you.
You know the funny thing is, Beast, how this is all coming into full circle because this is the same exact stuff that me and Billingsley was talking about on his show. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to watch his show, Isaac Billingsley. We were talking about that. We was talking about how Mike Tyson, and he was using the example of Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson. How Buster Douglas, who lost his mom before the fight, but before his mom passed away, though, she said, "My baby's going to be heavyweight champion." And I forgot about that story. I was happy Billingsley brought it up, even though I love Mike Tyson. I still want to believe that he's undefeated. Billingsley, I'm not letting go, dog. I'm still not letting go. But but how he used that motivation to beat Mike Tyson, which that's where this conversation is going to lead to right here. So let's go ahead and continue.
Well, I had a couple of seltzers, I had a couple of beers and all that stuff. I even had to look at the beer for a little bit like, am I tripping?
Right.
She said almost like Adrian Broner. Like, only thing was missing was she said she was the can, and everybody can get it. That's why I was waiting for her. But for her to sit there, not to mention she's going to cuss on national television, rather than saying, okay, I wasn't prepared. I lost. Congratulations to those three that beat me. So I need. It shows for me to improve myself to get ready for the next race and all that stuff, rather than using that as a learning lesson and understanding that I wasn't as ready as I was. And then she had a lot of time before this race. So that shows that you wasn't prepared, not only mentally, but physically. And you got smoked. And I like it when what was that one Jamaican runner's name? If anybody can send it to me, or if you can remember.
I'm pretty sure Candace will know it.
Because when she was asked the question about her, and I'm paraphrasing what her answer was, she was like, I don't care nothing about that. Next question. That's was the perfect answer I have ever heard. She could have said anything. She could have just did, I wish her all the best in her best endeavors and all that stuff, which would have took the attention off her victory and put it on her. Thank you, Candace. Oh, Shelly Ann.
I told you she knew it.
And for some reason, when she made that comment, I was like, man, I hope I'm taking, I got a girlfriend, but when she made that comment and I was there, I was like, ooh, can I take you out on a date? Let's get some jerk chicken. Let's go to an authentic Jamaican spot. Let's go ahead and get some oxtails, okay? Let's get some plantains on the side. Y'all, that hot sauce that I always love. I was like, I gotta take this girl out.
Pretty damn tasty right now.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there because that point right there is one thing I forgot to get your take on. When she got that question about Sha'carri, I'm talking about Shelly Ann, the Jamaican runner. Now, she was the winner, ladies and gentlemen. of the one in the Olympics and that meet. She was the overall winner. And when she got asked that question, she was truly, other than, me saying that, damn, she was bad how she answered it, how she was short and sweet with it. I was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm like this. She basically did the professionally shaded. And I actually said it up in here. I said, I don't know if it's the thing, but I'm creating a word. I think it's professionally shaded Sha'carri. Because if Sha'carri's not going to give me my shine, guess what? I'm not going to give her shine. And she did it in the most professional way. And I honestly want to see that. You probably see it here and there. I want to see that from more athletes, where you got athletes that you beat that don't give you your props. Just shade them. Just be like, well, I could care less what they think. We won. Next question.
I agree. I mean, I won. So no matter what I say, it's going to be cocky. Why? Because I won.
Right.
So I really don't have to give a fuck about you. I could, but especially if Sha'carri was asked first, I'm assuming that was the order. Oh yeah, you done threw all this, you done talked all this slick shit beforehand. Then want to go call me out, throwing shade on my deserving win, bitch. I got a medal.
You know what?
Oh no. Oh, you say I only got this medal because you wasn't in the race. Well, bitch, I dusted you and my other two teammates, just like I dusted their asses yesterday at the damn Olympics and dusted the other bitch that you brought here. I dusted the same motherfucking bitches plus you. So yeah, I don't really have to talk about you. Next question.
Right. And so I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna go ahead and show that infamous interview. First of all, let me go ahead and remove this real quick. Don't worry, Billsy. I'm gonna put it back up. I just want to be fair. So I want to show everybody.
I got issues with you. Shit.
I want to show this. Hold on. Hold up. So I'm gonna show this interview.
I'm the type of person, to be honest with you, like, oh, they got beef? I didn't even know they had beef, but since they got beef, fuck them too. Shit.
Right. And so let's go ahead and watch this interview. I won't be fair to Sha'carri and anybody who still supports her. The interview.
I ain't say I don't support her.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, people understand.
Just be real. Just be real about what the fuck you doing. Like, all you bandwagon niggas just hating and talking shit now. Like I said, just a month ago, y'all was supporting her. Y'all was so behind her and everything. Nah, just keep real.
Yeah. Are you on the bandwagon or not? Are you a true supporter? Just saying. But yeah, here's the interview.
The lie detector test determined
it's a no.
That was a lie.
Why would they put that in there?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And to be fair, this is the first video that popped up. I should have got the 17 seconds one, but this is one. I just want to show this. So I just want to let y'all know this was not purposely. I purposely picked it because the other one was 17 seconds. I should have picked the 17 seconds one. So just saying.
Oh, that was funny.
You know what I'm capable of? Talk all the shit you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done.
Wrong.
I'm the 6 fastest white in this game. Forever. And can't nobody ever take that from me. Congratulations to the winners.
They dissected her ass.
But they're not done seeing me yet. Period.
Bye, Felicia.
All right. Thank you, Sherry.
And the Bible quote, why would y'all? Oh Lord.
Colorful language from Sha'carri, but she's making a point. She's not done.
Wrong.
So, oh gosh.
I can't.
I'm gonna put my boy video back up on here, but yeah. But go ahead.
I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I know better, and I listen to voices and sound. I have to, and I could. It don't sound genuine. Like I was looking her in the eyes the whole time she was saying that shit, and she didn't believe the shit she was saying.
No, I don't. Even when I first saw that interview, not that video, ladies and gentlemen, but the actual interview, it's even with that parody to her interview, it still rubs me the wrong way because you can't sit here and make it all about you, even though you're the one that extended the invitation for them to run. It's like I said, it's no different if if you play Madden and you know how you can play with people all around the world and all that stuff and invite them to come and play and you get your ass beat. You're going to take that over the chin like, why don't you just look at it as a lesson? Person maybe just take the L. The L could be anything you want to be. It could be a lesson or could be a loser. So y'all have to understand. Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna take our falls, and people just think just because he's so damn good that they will never have a day where they just bad. I mean, I see it in football and mainly football all the time in the NFL and college. One Sunday, you're the bad boys on the block. You just trampled over that team. And then next Sunday, y'all are just horrible.
Each beat like we those are the games you talking about was like week 4, y'all won 35-14.
Mm-hmm.
Week 5, y'all took a 54-5 L.
Just ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, it's like where was those the world beaters from last week? Now all of a sudden y'all getting beat by the world. Y'all sit there monsters among men. Now all of a sudden y'all the men, and the monsters are eating you now. Or as an old Southern quote, I usually would say, and you probably heard this before: some days you're the pigeon. And some days you the windshield.
Yep.
Unfortunately, today you the windshield. And so it's one of those things where Sha'carri,
some days you the shit. Some days you just shit.
And unfortunately, Sha'carri falls into all those sayings and all those categories. And knowing that a homegirl came on. If I was Shelly Ann, if I was her, rather than just troll her in the interview, the one thing that I would do? I would go over there and act like we're friends. I'd be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" That's one of the worst bombs you ever do to somebody. Definitely if it's in an interview.
No. She knew what she was doing. You just want to be close enough. It's the same thing to I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm touching you. I'm just far away to honestly, legally not be touching you, but close enough for your innate paranoia and Spider Sense to just be going full alarm, Red October, DEFCON 9, like goosebumps, all that shit. Like, get this month. You know that tense up. Just stop. What? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything.
Even with
that's
that,
all they do. That's how you kill them. Because she got close enough. She got close enough to where the camera was gonna see her, and the dude was gonna see her, and his eyes was gonna immediately follow the motion, and she was gonna catch that. She already knew what it was. That's why her whole demeanor is switched up even more after that. Like,
what happened? What happened if the interviewer himself stopped talking to her and just talked to Shelly Ann? Oh my God. I would tell you.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you, social media.
No, you know what?
This man
I can tell you right now, if that would have happened, the first meme you would see would be him calling her out and a close-up on her face leading into Brandy and Wanye's song, Broken Hearted. Baby, you hear me? Never thought of being in love again. Till you be my best friend.
I didn't even think of that.
That's the first. I swear to God, as soon as you said that, that's the first thing that popped in my head was that video. Like, this Wanye sitting on the corner. No.
Look, and her face. I could just see her face like.
Oh.
And
then you got to throw it into SWV. I get so wicked I lose all control.
Yo, it's crazy. I just had to touch on that. But let's continue on. Let's continue on with the show. Hold on.
Yeah,
that's
a little brevity.
That got me. She was.
Yeah.
She did it. She put shade. I just created a whole word. I created a whole.
Like I said, that's the whole American thing, though. Let's be real. He pause real quick.
Yeah.
Because the way she acts, honestly, is the American mentality.
Yes.
The Killer Mike plays a voice in the network's joint, and he has this little mini message moment when he was like, "Imagine being so privileged to where even when you lose, your mind just says, I still must have won that shit." He's talking about colonial Americans, really white America.
Yeah.
And the whole message was the only way that they will understand something was you had to make it on the most dumbest platform, like a cartoon. Message.
That is the message.
But that's what you see. That's honestly what you see. You're seeing that more and more with black folk. You really saw it in white folk, but you see it more. You hear it more resoundingly in the middle class, disenfranchised whites that feel that way. They really vocalize that. Mm-hmm. You don't really hear too many black folk to be on that tip, and when they are, they're perceived as cocky and just usually they got money to back it up, so they just a cocky rich nigga. Like Mayweather.
Yep. I didn't even thought about that, but that's a good point. But let's go ahead and back up here. But that's a great point. Didn't even thought of it like that.
I just created a word, y'all. Professionally shaded Sha'carri. Because now I made a video on this girl criticizing the Olympics, and now I got to recant that video. And you know me, Bilson, when I do my show, when I do anybody, if I'm wrong, I'd be mad enough to say that I was wrong. And I didn't say that I was wrong. All the things that you were saying about this whole entire situation is entirely correct. You're not going to see Sha'carri in any big time racing, any race, anytime, no time soon. Not even a small level.
Her story is so sad at the same time because, you know, it really could have been something really cool for her at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But even she's totally. I mean, if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong, but I don't see it.
No. You're
I mean,
exactly right.
I mean, but I will give a whole different example that was a similar situation, right? Years ago, Mike Tyson.
This is the story right here. This is the story.
He was known as a pit bull in the ring at this point in time. But then there was a guy named Buster Douglas. A month or so before the fight, right? His mama is talking to everybody. My son is going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Dude, he's going against Mike Tyson. And his mama is saying, this is what's going to happen. What happened a month prior to that fight? She dies. And so, regardless of the fact, right, nobody was expecting this guy to do anything with Mike Tyson, whether she died or not, because Mike Tyson was who he was at that time. But what did this guy do? Did he go on and say, you know, due to this situation, maybe I should just go ahead and just get tapped on the chin and let this go? Or due to this situation, should I go ahead and pot it up, get my mind off of this situation? No, this guy trained his ass off, trained crazy. And then all of a sudden, when it was time to go ahead and get in the ring, he's lasting 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. This guy is lasting because the odds were he wouldn't get past the first or second round. This guy is going the distance with Mike Tyson, the most indestructible machine at that time. And not only did Tyson knock him down, he knocks Tyson out. And I was like, wow. So what does he do at the end of that, when he gets interviewed? He dedicated to his mom, who had died a month ago, which was his motivation to make that happen, because she promised that he would be heavyweight champion, and he made it happen. My whole point of even saying that is this: if you're gonna blame your situations like that, be Buster Douglas. Okay? Yes. Be Buster Douglas. And don't go ahead and say that she's doing this for the culture. She's not doing this for the culture. She's doing this for herself. But yeah, you're right. Romeo, you're right. He did almost get knocked out. But he didn't let that mess him up, because he knew what his mom promised to everybody. Yeah. And what he promised to his mom. That he was going to go ahead and do that. I mean, and let's be real about it. Mike wasn't training. He was at the parties and all this other stuff. Yeah, because he's a trainer. I'm
gonna stop it right there. Tell me, Beast, did you hear any falsehoods or anything wrong with what my boy Billsley said?
No, it's the truth. Okay, here's another example of what Billsley was talking about. Y'all remember KG, Kevin Garnett? You know how Kevin Garnett actually got his first ring? And really solidified that he had a conversation with Bill Russell, one of the greatest ball players ever, one of the most decorated ball players with 11 rings in 13 seasons. You do the math. But as one of the most illustrious big men, talking to the up-and-coming big man of the current generation, he expressed to him and told him basically, look here, you're going to win. And to ensure the fact that you're going to win, I'm going to put up one of my rings. So even if you don't win, you're still going to walk out a fucking champion, because I'm going to give you one of my rings. I don't know about y'all, but I can guarantee to some degree that he went back in their locker room next time he got around that team and told them pretty much short and sweet, look here, we going to win. Bill Russell said it. It's been ordained by basketball God. So get your shit together and let's go practice. We got rings to go get. And they went and got them rings. And I saw that conversation. I said to myself, "Oh yeah, they won. They won. That's the next best thing is like Jordan coming through and just giving you one of his personal basketballs. Oh nigga, you about to go out here. You about you got to go. That's the part of elevation. That's what you feeling right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take that. He could easily be like, man, fuck these niggas. Bill Russell said he gonna give me one of his rings, so shit, I got a ring either way. He could have half-assed. Nah, he took that shit as energy and fuel, as motivation for his resolve, and went out there and said, shit, we all getting the ring.
Right. And once again, hopefully Billsley's still watching the show. Billsley, thank you for having me on your show. So everybody still support my boy Billsley, Isaac Billsley. You can follow him by his name. He do a show, on occasions and all that great stuff. And also he's going to be guest on our Unrehearsed podcast, Talking Sports with us, which is going to be happening soon, which is going to be before week 1 of the NFL season. I just want to throw that out there. But everything that our boy Billsley said was 100% true. And it just makes you think, if she would have played her hand right, would have continued training after her mom passed away, her mom died, didn't smoke weed or anything like that. And look, I understand when you lost somebody that you really care about, that you really love, you in a dark space. I get that, and it's different for many people. Some people can cope with it, and you got a lot of people that can't. So they're going to find something to substitute it, and that leads on to another stepping stone. What am I going to do to get out of this dark place? A lot of people just going to do the things that both they and that loved one have done. If it's a friend that you treated like a brother or a sister that passed away, you're going to go to the places that y'all usually do, get a laugh, get a chuckle. It could be the first time y'all drunk beer, that place, or it could be a theater that y'all always went to, or a vacation spot where y'all always go. I mean, so many things. Or with your mother and your father. It could be a meal that they always cooked that you say one day you would cook, and you decide to cook it. I mean, it's so many avenues that you could have went to avoid smoking weed. And I hate to sound like Stephen A. Smith, smoking the weed, but there are other avenues. But yeah, go ahead.
And I can say, as a weed head, an herbal enthusiast, I still concur with him, because there's ways to go about it. There's a lot of professional athletes that smoke bud and are still successful. Mm-hmm. Whereas these also, put it like this: if you're getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and by 5 you've already ran 5 to 8 miles before you start actual training, and then training up to 12. If you're doing the bulk of your day training and getting your physical and mental right, and you smoke a little bud in the evening to help mellow you out and soothe your body to help you rest, okay. That's called medicinal. You could have worded that shit a lot better, and nobody would have said, oh, she smokes bud. Like was one of the Diaz brothers.
Oh yeah, Nate Diaz.
Nate
Diaz.
Yeah, he smoked big bud, but this motherfucker runs 10 miles. And then he runs 10 miles in different types of climate and air elevations. So he'll run 10 miles on flatland in Cali and still pull 10 miles on the desert or out in the Colorado Rocky Mountains. and then go do fucking, and then go deadlift and work out and do all this other shit, then wrestle with motherfuckers for 2-3 hours at a time, then fight a motherfucker for 2-3 hours at a time. If you want to smoke a blunt or hit the pipe after work, after doing all that, I think he's deserving of it. It ain't like the motherfucker who woke up in the morning, smoked the blunt, and ain't do shit with his life. He did more before 5 a.m. than most of us do before we get to work.
And the thing is, he's in a position where UFC needs him. He don't need the UFC. And people fail to understand that. Sha'carri is not even in the position or got that much of a clout or that fame or that much of a glory to say that the track and field needs her. You know, if Flojo
could have used it in medicinal. She could have put it as medicinal, and they'd probably did her like she'd have got some of the same love that they did for the soccer, the two girls on the soccer team.
Yeah,
there was fucking blatant about not only smoking bud, but investing in the fucking industry.
Yeah, and to knock on wood, if Flojo, if she was alive today, she probably would have said the same thing about like, come on, you could do better than that. You can do better than that. Now, if Flojo was in the same position as Sha'carri right now, Flojo got that much of fame, that credibility behind her, that the track and field will be calling her, begging her, hey, we need you back. We need you back. I guarantee you, after Flojo, after her success in track and field, I guarantee you track and field was like, hey, we need you back. You probably can't run, but you think you can be a coach of the Olympic team. I guarantee you she was getting calls out the woodworks. So what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, you have to look at it from this standpoint. Track and field is going to find another Sha'carri Richardson. They're probably looking at one prospect now. Now, which leads to what is next for Sha'carri Richardson? In this interview, and I don't know where it's at, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I did say, and I'm gonna say it right here. Once again, y'all heard in the when I said on Bell's show, I said that she's not gonna be in no meets no time soon. But also in the show, I mentioned that Nike, who is still a sponsor, I haven't heard anything about them dropping them or anything like that. Nike is going to be pushing money behind her to go to facilities that actually help out with athletes. Gatorade, they got it. I know Powerade has it with their athletes to try out, new drinks and to see how it works under, conditions that they're used to.
Should be the equivalent of a game tester or a studio musician. Right.
And so Nike, knowing Nike, and they're based out here, not in Seattle, but the main base is Portland. I've been there a couple of times. They they got a facility right there for the athletes to come, work out, have people to come down there, help them out, try out new gear and equipment. They're going to do that with Sha'carri. It's probably going to take 6 months to a year for her to get back to where she was dominant, that she will learn from this, and that she's going to be ready next time when she call out for a meet. Unfortunately, she's going to have to wait 4 years for the Olympics, but ladies and gentlemen, in track and field, they also have their own little events. They already got their own little foundation. Even though you don't hear it as much. You probably see it on ESPN2 or ESPN3. There's a lot of damn ESPNs, but you will see it on those channels. And so, and it still pays a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Nike is not going to drop her because of this. They're going to be disappointed, but they're not going to drop her. Trust me.
Yeah.
Nike is going to back a lot of money into Sha'carri. They're going to help improve her game. And they're going to be pushing out her products. Trust me. Excuse me. Give it another.
They already got. Okay, they not only are they investing money in her and already figuring out what network compatible joints. They can do like the Nike, Gatorade, and any other corporations and companies that they already have ties with or financial ties with. Oh yeah, she's gonna be sponsoring and endorsing them shits too.
Yeah, because I'm telling y'all, it may be looming doom for her for now, but Nike, right? If knowing the PRs that they are at Nike right now, they probably already drawn up a plan on what they're going to do with Sha'Carri, how we're going to improve her, because improving her improves our brand, because we already got the black population to buy our shoes. But if we can use her, not only will we be pushing more to the black community, now we're pushing to the black women. We're pushing to the little black girls to inspire them to get our equipment. And then also the track and field will see, oh, snap, you got some black women, some black girls that are coming into track and field. If I was at Nike and I was part of their PR board, that's one thing I will be telling them. I was like, don't look at this as, oh shit. Look at this as a, oh shit. Because if you look down the road from now, you can use this time for her being down and pump her up. Get her around the right people, get her around the right trainers, get her at our facilities, have highly trained runners to help her out. Hell, bring some of our freaking NFL players that wear our stuff. Come and help her.
So educate on that. Show her how to talk.
Right. And so, I mean, if Nike can sit there and sponsor Kaepernick, who didn't snap the ball since they endorsed him, why not do it with Sha'Carri?
This is true.
Just saying, just start. So we may be disagreeing with what Sha'Carri has did and knowing that this is going to be a blemish or her reputation, but she can bounce back. I mean, really, she can, ladies and gentlemen, she can bounce back. And I think Beast alluded to it earlier in the show where he said that I can still support you, but I am going to talk shit when you fuck up. And I always been a proponent to that too. You can support somebody with all your heart, but if you see something wrong, you're supposed to say something. You're supposed to question it. So if B supports me, let's say obviously with the Wet Network, because we both part owners of it, and he see me doing something that he don't like, I expect him to voice his concerns. I expect him to be like, yo, Morris, I don't like that. And it's my goal to like either defend my position or at least hear what he's saying, because it could be something I'm missing, like, oh shit, Beast is correct. I mean, he's right. Or explain to him, like, man, trust me, it's gonna work. It's gonna work, and I can show him. He can still support it and not agree with it. And then when we see it through and it worked, he could be like, well, you was right the whole entire time. But if it goes wrong, I gotta accept that L. And B's gonna be like, I told you. Didn't work.
Don't slip in.
Right. So it's not gonna work. And now I'm gonna have to come up with a solution. We both have to come up with a solution of not to have this happen again. And that's where Sha'Carri is at. She gotta find the solution of that. This right here, what happened last weekend, don't happen again. And if Nike is smart, Nike will jump in and answer that question for her. And all she got to do is get her marching orders, shut the hell up, and do what she got to do. She's not going to be in no meets anytime soon, because this is in the track and field. This is a pretty big thing. You know, we talking all that cash shit, and you didn't back it up. So also in the show that I want to mention, Sha'Carri needs to go on social media hiatus. She don't need to post anything. I don't even want her to do an IG live, Twitter live, whatever is out there. She should take this time to reevaluate herself. Not only just do that, hopefully Nike reach out to her. So hopefully Nike is like, we working on something for you right now. Just hold tight. We got this. You're gonna be good. But for right now, we don't want you to reach out on social media to nobody. Don't write no posts. Just keep it quiet. Just keep it low key. And one of the biggest sayings that at first I didn't believe, but thanks to Colin Kaepernick, I believe it. Silence is golden. And you probably remember this saying too. Always be afraid of the man that says less or says nothing. Be afraid of the quiet man, basically.
And then there's the old adage, a silent man, a quiet man is perceived as thought wise until he opens his mouth and removes all doubt. Meaning the more quiet you are, the more silent you are, the harder it is for people to read you and really feel, see where you're at. And they have to go off their own perceptions. It's only when you open up your fucking mouth that they be like, oh yeah, I was right, or oh shit, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm. And Deontay Wilder right now, for anybody who's into boxing, because we're going to talk about that on the Andre Hurst podcast, by the way. He did that during his upcoming fight with God damn it, what's his name? The Gypsy King.
Joshua.
Fury. Fury. Tyson Fury.
Yeah, for the second one.
And you realize in that first press conference, Deontay Wilder didn't say a thing. He didn't say nothing. And when he got up there and freaking Tyson Fury was just blumping his gums, Wilder was looking, it's like Wilder was just throwing, if your sight were, if his sight was lasers, he was just shining right through him. And freaking Tyson Fury was taken back because he's doing all that talking and he realizing Dante ain't saying nothing. His facial expression was doing it for him. And usually when you know you fucked up is when you finally see that, oh, this motherfucker means business. I'm doing all the things to try to trigger him, but I'm just only triggering myself. It's like me talking to a tree right now. And you know,
the craziest person in the situation is the quiet motherfucker. If you got 5 people in an argument and there's a 6th person that's just sitting there,
not saying
amongst all of them, just that's the one that's gonna pop off.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, those are ones you gotta look out for. And Deontay Wilder was doing trigger. Right. And Deontay Wilder, when he do that, for anybody that does that, no matter if it's a boxing, track and field, racing, football, when you got somebody that's over there talking all that smack and that person on the other side just sitting there just looking at you and just got that determined face, you in for a long night. And I'm not talking about the person that's just freaking just looking at you. It's the person that's talking all that trash because now you got to back it up. You see it in rivalry games. So what does this got to relate to Sha'carri? If Sha'carri takes that blueprint of being silent and just worried about her craft and getting better and improving and Nike helping her out with that, we're going to see a whole new and better improved Sha'carri within 6 months to a year. Just don't see anything from her no time soon. If she don't post and Nike steps in and she's training, not saying a thing to media, not saying anything on social media, not even saying anything to family other than I'm okay, Sha'carri's going to be better than ever. 6 months to a year. I'm calling it and I'm saying it. So hopefully Sha'carri gets better. But with that being said, once again, I'd like to thank Billsley for having me on his show. I don't know if he's still watching. Check out my boy Billingsley. Follow him at Isaac Billingsley. I'm going ahead and put one of his comments up here. It's his name. Follow him on Facebook. He has a very interesting show, both being Cowboys fans. So we do a lot of Cowboy talk. But he also talks about stories just like this. And so he promoted my show and I'm promoting his. So Billsley.
Synergy.
Yes, I'm saying, man. So Billsley, I am once again, like I always do, I send my invitation to people who've been on the show before to come on. Billsley, we offer you to come back on the show and give your insight, because both of our panelists in Africa living their best life, you know what I mean? But other than that, thank you for having me on the show. I had to show that clip. And also everybody to go follow his and follow his show. He has a show like, sometimes Monday, Tuesday, depending on how he feels. But I'm gonna tell you something very interesting and have you and make you go, and be entertained. But speaking of entertainment, we got a community to visit. Beast, what is on tap for us today?
We're gonna continue the whole dialogue about how to respect and support. But be honest.
I feel you. So now everybody, get your ass up in the truck. We got a community to head to and get some great knowledge. Not only just a community, but peace community. Let's roll.
Welcome. One cannot have honor without humility. You need both of them. For a man with no humility can never truly be honorable in his actions or ways. Because humility has a certain high regard for ethics and morals. These all correspond with each other. And I say this to mean, when it comes to what we were talking about earlier with Sha'carri, we can support you. But this is a moment when you need some critical, constructive criticism. Because what you're doing ain't right. How you're going about it ain't right. I've always been a fan of the theory of there's always an easier way to say things. That's why I love words. No matter how you feel, there's some way to word it in a respectfully pleasant manner to where not everybody's really going to know what you're saying. It'll only be your body language and your tone of voice that really dictates there's some ulterior emotions to your statements. So we saw how she responded, and I just have to get people to understand that, hey, that's not cool, because you talked all that shit and then back it up. So, like Donnell said, you gotta fall back, hit the drawing board, hibernate. You gotta go low key and underground for a while, because you put yourself in a position on Front Street to where you not only failed at your attempt, but you completely disappointed a lot of people due to your standards. So that fucks up your perceptive public opinion and portrayal really fucked up right now. Everybody looking at you different ways. Now, to those that still support, cool. Always support, continue to support, but do not be scared to give her the constructive criticism that she needs. Because that's that humility. You can't let nobody go too high get too big. They forget who they are. They forget where they're at. They forget to take a hold of their surroundings and start to make careless moves and actions. You know, like the old story of Icarus. Flew too high, wasn't paying attention, thought he could do it, didn't realize he was high enough for the sun's heat to affect him, melted wings, plummeted to his death. They have a term for that story. It's called hubris. When you think so highly of yourself that you make careless mistakes and follies that lead to your ultimate failure. That whole pride before the fall type thing. And this is what happens when people are not humbled or not given that honest criticism and not had that honest criticism placed upon them. They get too prideful, they get too much full of hubris, and they eventually fall and plummet. Now, before she gets to that point, hopefully the right people will be in her corner and be surrounded around her to give her that honest opinion and honest critiques to get her back where she needs to be, but in a better position. That's how you support, show love, show true love. Because when you truly love somebody, you can tell them when they ain't doing right. If I love you enough to praise you when you're doing good, I got to love you enough to tell you when you're not doing good. And if you love me, like you say, you should be able to accept when I'm speaking on things that even you know you shouldn't be doing or you shouldn't have in your life. You should be able to understand that I'm coming from a place of love, not a place of hate or envy or whatever else you want to insert in there. We need to understand these type of mentalities and apply them to our life, not just the sports, not just the sportsmanship, but to all facets of our life. Being able to show support, being able to show love, but also being able to be 100% honest with someone. And make sure that your wording and your emotions are in a place to where it's presented honestly and not as something that is a personal affront. But you're coming from an honest, loving, logical, rational place. And these critiques and observations need to be stated. When we truly uphold these type of mentalities and truly bring them into our lives, we're able to maneuver through multiple facets and multiple levels and what's the word I'm looking for? Different cultures and subcultures of America. All the while being able to not necessarily understand, but being able to give that basic respect while also giving your critiques and criticisms when necessary. Because when you give them when necessary, they will be taken as necessary and not as you just being a hateful motherfucker. So let's always remember to hold true to honor, but also humility. And always be willing to give someone the honest critiques they need, but on the other hand, also be willing to take the honest critiques that you need in your life as well. Once again, I hope you enjoyed coming down. I hope you were educated, entertained, and enlightened. I yield the floor, and I hope you come back for more. Y'all have a good one.
Mr. Peace, thank you so much for that. But I cannot wait to do this because it's been a while. And that is our final thought.
Final thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, so much on tap. But my final thought, I want to say this. I just went on the site. OnlyFans. Now, a lot of y'all have heard the news come October, they will no longer be supporting sexual content on OnlyFans. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know something. I actually did have a OnlyFans profile, and I was actually using profile for the Alabante show, but then I just thought differently of it because if I did an OnlyFans and you would see all the recommendations of all the other sites. Basically, I just got a lot of respect, not only for myself, but also my viewers, because a lot of y'all got different values, different from mine, where OnlyFans, you will only think that is sexual content, which is not true. Is it a big chunk of OnlyFans? Yes. But then you got people that are DJs, podcasters like myself, streamers, gaming streamers that is on OnlyFans too. I mean, OnlyFans has really taken off since the pandemic because since then, the pandemic was only for sexual stuff, but it evolved into something else. So, hearing this, bit of news, and I didn't even explain my last point. So basically, my last point is when you on my OnlyFans and you about to log in, I don't want to see any recommendations of all these other platforms that do a lot of things differently from me. That's sexual. That's what I'm saying. But going back to the news. Hearing this, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised, but OnlyFans became a billion-dollar business basically overnight. And knowing that you got communities from other genres coming into OnlyFans, because at one time OnlyFans was only for sexual stuff, explicit content. At one time, they was basically cornering that market. But now you got other communities coming in and just breaking the mold and making maybe just as much or even more than their sexual content. And then, the scrutiny on the outside, people like to say the court of public opinion, which don't exist. Let's just say a lot of the critics was coming out there saying, how can you have streamers on there, but you still got sexual content? And I guess since now that they're making a whole lot of money with all these other communities and genres coming in, now what originally made them famous, now they're just going to cut ties with it. It's business, ladies and gentlemen. It's business. Like I say that there's always a mixture of personal and business. There's never a separation. It never is, because you will feel some type of way either way. Either if it's you that's making the decision or you given the decision. And so with all the I'm not even gonna call them by sex workers, but all the content creators that do use sexual content, now they're gonna have to find another place, or they have to create their own avenue to make revenue. And what I want to tell each and every one of them that are doing sexual content and they're devastated of this of the news, which I don't think a lot of y'all is going to be devastated unless y'all are actually porn stars. I mean, actual porn stars, or made a good chunk of money off this. This should be an opportunity for you to create your own. There's other sites just like OnlyFans that's doing this. I'm not gonna let you know all my secrets to success, but this is the best time for you to start looking for other avenues, for other places to put your content. One thing my dad always told me, he was like, son, don't get too comfortable at a job. Always have job B, job C, job D, just in case the one that you're at does not work. And I use that saying to propel me in my podcasting career and to find other places. Just because I'm comfortable on one platform I should have another platform B, C, D, because it happened before where I was on a platform that was popular and great, and all of a sudden they get sold out. Or the next thing, they're about to close down shop. Excuse me. I mean, so many things can happen. So hopefully a lot of y'all, either you already did your homework, that if you didn't do your homework, that y'all should be looking for other avenues or places, or y'all just want to start your own website, your own content, and hosting it, and you don't have to worry about, have to stop doing your operations at this certain date. Now you in control. Now you got everything that you want. I never order any OnlyFans thing. So for anybody's thinking, no, I have not ordered any freaking content or whatever. But it just shows. It just tells you when business pick up that if you're making more money with other markets, even though the market that you started with was making you some money, sometimes you just gotta come off. I hate to say it like that, but you have to go to what is really making you bread and butter, to focus more on the future, to go with the times, if that makes sense. And so unfortunately, I'm taking that, since there was so many genres coming in, and that the sexual explicit content was not making that much money as with all of these genres together, it was like, you're only strong as your weakest link. And right now, you're not even the weakest link. You're the link that's just holding us back from now. But it's been real. And things like that happens. So for all the people that been with OnlyFans, and if it affects you, this should be your time to either shine or your time just to bitch and moan. If I were you, I'll shine. But shout out to OnlyFans for making that decision. And with that, I yield the floor.
My final thought, it will be a little message to all the ladies out here. Life is about balance, as well as compromise. You're not going to get what you want, and even if you do, you're not going to get exactly where you want. So learn to balance your wants and your needs, and compromise your expectations. And on a personal note, chill the fuck out with all this masculine energy y'all trying to put out. There's a reason why we're different, but we're the same. Stop trying to do the shit we do, and we'll stop doing the shit y'all do. Okay? You want men, and let's just be 100% clear about the things that we want. Let's use our words correctly and express our words correctly so that everyone understands what we want. Because overall, we are tired of seeing these videos and this countless streams and visual clips of women just saying and acting ungodly for no apparent reason, and then expecting every positive thing that they could ever want in life. It's so ass backwards, and it's so draining to watch. So can we please do better? And I promise on my end as a man, I will do my best to help the male species get our shit together too. We'll admit we got some shit to work on as well. But we're getting some of our shit together. We just need to see a little balanced effort on your side as well. Gives us a little hope, a little motivation to continue doing better. With that, I yield the floor. Y'all have a good one.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of Hashtag Fade to Black. Me, as your great host, I love Baltimore. Thank y'all for tuning in, as well as my bruh, Beast Johnson, always dropping knowledge in the community, holding it down. We're our outro. We will see y'all on Wednesday, one-on-one Wednesday. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we control the narrative. And we'd like to thank Real Chatboy Popcorn for sponsoring this show. And with that, it's time for y'all to go. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye, y'all. And also, big shout out to Billingsley using his material. Don't forget to follow him and watch his show and enjoy yourselves. And Billingsley, once again, invitation is always on the table for you to come on the show. We're outro. Catch y'all later. Bye.
Peace.